All right. We are back at it again. Once again, we back at it like crack addicts, man. Y'all gonna have to understand that's our go-to shit right there.
That's our go-to shit.
Yeah, we back at it like crack addicts because the crack addict does what? They come in, they purchase a little something, then they come right back.
And they resilient as fuck.
Resilient, my ass, nigga. They sell their mama to come back. I ain't trying to sell my mama. Rest in peace. I ain't trying to sell nobody. I'm just saying that we are back at it like crack addicts. Yeah. And I am Heat Detector with my illustrious host.
Nashvino.
Jesus Christ, can you put a little more emphasis on that?
What the fuck?
I said illustrious.
The emphasis was in illustrious.
Okay. In my mind, it should have been Nashvino and maybe some hand claps, something. See, and we have the engineers here once again hacked into the goddamn show. Apparently, his ass must be high, something because he didn't get. We got no hand claps, no nothing.
Thank you, the engineer. I appreciate it.
Oh God, this is what I deal with, man. All right, so listen, tonight is once again, and I say this all the time, and I know I do, so you got to excuse me.
Mm-hmm. We
got a great show tonight.
We do.
We got a legendary motherfucker on the show. Now I'm going to say this. He's legendary if you in the know. If you ain't in the know, trust and believe, he already know your ass ain't in the know. If that makes any motherfucking sense. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's give how should I say it? I don't want to say a warm welcome. I don't want to say let's stand up. Let's just say this. How about this? This is a 606 Chicago motherfucking participant.
So maybe it should be presidential because
I mean,
you roll out the red
where's the motherfucking engineer when we fucking need him? I need gunshots. I need car skidding. I need all kinds of shit. I need apocalyptic type of shit. Because tonight, in the motherfucking building, we got nobody other than Jay motherfucking Norm. Let's go, baby. What's cracking, man? Shit, man, we just chilling, man. We trying to.
That humbling introduction, man, is weird.
There was nothing humble about that. Nothing.
Not at all. And I don't know how to.
No.
See, I'm not like Shadow in them. I don't absorb it that quick. It's weird for me.
Hey, well, I get a little weird sometimes too, but sometimes you have to give somebody more. And while I speak on that, I'm going to let my illustrious host speak on that while I make sure that I got this shit in the stream so people can jump in and, so go ahead. Let me handle this right quick.
So last week we were watching some clips, and one thing I noticed about you is that you just seem natural. It's like you're definitely in your element. Like, what does that feel like to you? Because it looks almost like you on the mic is just like lungs when you inhale and exhale. Like it's just involuntary.
No, not. I don't know. I think you might got me mixed up with somebody because I don't really rap.
See,
I've rapped.
That wasn't him. That we was watching in a video in the crowd.
No,
you were probably the only other person I could think of that you might confuse me with was probably Mood Swings. And he's a guy that's been coming to 606 for a long time.
Mood Swings.
No, he was in the comments last week, right?
Yes, he
I
was.
could have sworn that Shadow was saying that was the dude that was in the comments.
Nah, bro.
Oh, hell no.
No, see, you got your shit. See, that's disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
Nah, it's all good, bro.
No, that's just straight disrespectful.
I could give you a little rundown of who I am and what I do with 606.
Please.
My name's Jory. I've been bouncing and doing security at Sub T for over 23 years. While doing that, I became basically the middleman and the behind the scenes for the 606 camp. So all the shows you see booked on Tuesdays, I do that. All the flyers you see go up, I do that. All the bigger shows that are middleman or booked or dealt with, I do that. And I'm the support system for Shadow and Anai and Boy Wonder, and I make sure everything's working properly and set to go, and people are where they need to be. So, like I said, I don't want to call it management because it's a group effort, and we're always been a team and a family about things, so it comes real natural. But that's where I fell in, and then after falling into place with 606 and doing a lot of work at Sub T, I then went on to be like an assistant manager / security at the Shrine. And then when I was at the Shrine, I was handed a lot of big shows. So I was able to put a lot of underground cats on that probably wouldn't have never seen some of them bigger stages. So that's roughly, and I still do security. I work for CPS now, so I'm still dealing with kids. And yeah, man, I like to look at myself as like I've always been the bouncer and the behind the scenes, and I make sure everything's cool at Sub T. I make sure all the acts and everybody's on point, and that's what I'm really a part of. And with that, I became a part of this legendary crew who are my family for the last 23 years, and have met so many people and got to put people on stages and got to meet artists and do things I never thought I would get to do. So that's a little sum up of who I am and what I do.
Well, that's a beautiful fucking thing.
Yeah, it sounds like you're the glue holding shit together.
Oh yeah. See, you're being overly humble, my mans. Okay, because
it's so nice.
Because it sounds to me, like if you fuck around, don't show up a day, the shit might fucking get out of order.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure your presence is definitely significant.
And with that being said, you froze a little bit, but go ahead.
Yeah, with 606, that's one of the biggest things of staying as long and as consistent as we have is people had to show up. If Shadow didn't show up to host, then I was there. If I didn't show up, Shadow was there. If Boy Wonder needed a fill-in DJ and he knew he couldn't be there, he did it. So, like, even though we sort of all micromanaged ourselves, and as far as me being there doing security, I think that was the greatest honor of being a part of 606, especially with those four. And I say Norm Rockwell too, because he started off at the end of the original Pacifics and stayed with us for about 5 years. So yeah, man, to work with people that much and that often every Tuesday, and no matter what anybody says, we, financially Tuesdays aren't something that would really be
making money off of, right?
Out.
Right.
We got to show bar numbers to keep the doors open and keep the owners interested. But then in the same time of it all, what Shadow and I do, it's out of love. It's out of therapy.
Yeah.
Kids off the street. It's off of, because money wise, yeah, I'll be the first to tell you they don't make shit. They're there because they love it.
No, but you know what? The beautiful thing about them too is like when we interviewed them, you could clearly see the energy and the chemistry between the two.
Yeah.
God damn it! I swear to God, I almost look like the Dayton. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I mean, they've been seeing each other every Tuesday for the last 13 years, and picking off and feeding like. They're almost like Siamese twins. They'll finish
exactly.
And stuff.
Yeah.
But see, that's something that like being around them so much, and even how like Boy Wonder used to DJ with them and know how to drop when they needed to drop or when the music needed to change. Like
it's a chemistry that it's an organic chemistry that you can't fabricate that shit. You cannot.
No. And that's the thing about Sub T. If anybody's ever been there and ever been in that room during one of those magic moments, it's a feeling and a vibe that you really can't describe other than being wholesome and real. And,
facts.
That's what's kept it alive. But yeah, those two are amazing.
So let me ask you. I'm not going to ask you your age, but we can kind of figure that out. You're 23 years down with 606.
Now I'm 43.
All right, well there you go. Go ahead, tell everybody. But what made you move towards hip hop, or what was the driving point where you're like, oh, I love this fucking music, I love this fucking culture, I'm in, hands down, hook, line, sinker, the whole you digs.
Well, it was funny because it's funny you say that, because that's sort of how it drew me into Sub T. Out of my group of friends that I grew up with, they always knew me to be into hip hop big and deep. So one of my boys, his name was Anthony Diamond. He actually bounced at Sub T years and years ago. Right. And he was the first one to give me the job there. And that's where I met the guy, Chris Fountain. Some people call him the General.
Oh, I know Chris Fountain.
And
I'm thinking Kevin Fountain. My bad. I'm thinking Kevin Fountain.
Then you knew his brother as well. But
yeah. So Kevin Fountain is a whole nother fucking story.
Yeah, a whole nother story. So, but with that being said, I started.
Can we get a horn for? Wait. Can we get a motherfucking horn for Kevin Fountain being a whole nother fucking story? God damn. That's a different individual.
I have to put a pin in that. That sounds weird.
Yes. Let me tell you, if we get Kevin Fountain on the show, he's probably going to be like a super. I'm just going to put it out there. Fuck it. He's going to be like a super diva. There's going to have to be things. It's just a lot with that guy. And if I'm lying, I'm dying. You know what I mean?
But yeah. So with that being said, I got the job with Chris, and Sub T kicked off. And at that time, the Pacifics, Rex, Edgar, Artec, Nate, which was DJ Verb, DJ D Double, all these cats had this Filipino culture, and they were all Filipino except for two of them, Mary Jane and Verb, and they were white. And they had the DJ set, and the Filipino culture really, I tell people till this day, what held 606 together through those early parts so long was the Filipino culture, because they ran that motherfucker for like 15 years, man.
Let's be very clear about the Filipino culture, man. When them motherfuckers get their hooks into R&B or hip hop or fucking, man, do they go all in? So any Asian culture, when they go fucking. Jesus Christ.
They support each other like family.
Yeah. It's not just that. They really take it overly goddamn serious. When we're over here like, man, I'm just trying to live. They're like, no, you gotta live it.
And their culture is very rich. I mean, there's a lot to learn from, because they kept that basis for a long while. It wasn't so rap based back in the day. It was more DJ based.
Right.
But then once the Pacifics got signed to All Natural, the hip hop aspect of everything kicked in real hard. Well, so basically,
go ahead.
Started bouncing during that time and watching that, and I became a part of the family. By the time Rex and them were getting older and starting to, hey man, I got a job and I'm getting married and I got 2 kids. Y'all want to take this over and do it or not? Because we're done. So me, Shadow, and I, and Tony, and Norm Rockwell at the time were like, fuck it, man. We got to keep it going.
Yeah. And that shit survived the pandemic when restaurants around it closed and shit got raided and not raided, but, the goddamn
riots.
Riots. That's what I'm talking about. All that shit. But Sub T somehow muscled through that shit. And I think that's a big.
Thanks to the phones, man. The phones and the way we're broadcasting now. When we were all on lockdown, we would do ciphers on the phones.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we had boys from Hollywood. We had boys from Hollywood that had a lot of connections, and they hooked up with us. And every Tuesday we'd be on here with like 15 to 20 different rappers from all over the states, sometimes different countries. And really, that's what I think Shadow and them really decided when things were able to open. We were coming back, because we were really supposed to be done after our 21st year. We were going to hang it up and go to once a month, but it changed our minds after being locked in for that year and a half.
Well, that's dope, man. That is the way you guys do that show, the things you guys have been through is the epitome of Chicago, heavy shoulder Chicago, blue collar ass fucking muscle through type shit.
Yeah.
And I say this, you know, I was gonna say I say this all the time, but I just started saying it. God damn it, I'm the redheaded stepchild. You know what I'm saying, of Chicago, man. I have adopted this place, or I should say, Chicago has adopted me.
Yeah.
Because when I tell motherfuckers where I'm from, now they go, no, nigga. Especially somebody from Chicago, they go, no, you're Chicago now. We got you.
You've been here long enough.
16 years, over 16 years already.
Yeah.
So enough about me calling out other places. I can say, yeah, I used to live here and here, but where I'm from right now is Chicago. And let's get a shout out to Chicago, goddamn it, for being the city of heavy goddamn shoulders, the city of motherfucking grind, the city of let me say this, and I've been to every large city in the United States. Nothing compares to Chicago. And people say New York, and trust me, I lived in New York again. See how I switched it? But nothing compares to Chicago. The people, the diversity, the amount of culture and creativity out of this place is bar motherfucking none.
It's amazing.
Shout out to Gizzo. Gizzo says, shout out to Jay Norm.
Gizzo, Shy City Cypher, man.
I think Gizzo been to my studio on Kedzie before. I'm
sure he
has. Unless there was another motherfucker named Gizzo, because I do remember someone named Gizzo that was at my studio at the time. 606 ENT, that's Gizzo right there again. Shout out to Gizzo. But yeah, the city is it's mad crazy. And I said this shit to Shadow Master and Annihilation. I was like, when I first, because one of the first places I heard to go to was Sub T's. And when I went in there on a Tuesday, I said to my co-host and to them, I was like a kid in a candy store, you know, like the first time seeing Disneyland. You know what I mean? This is hip hop. It's personified. It's everything you ever wanted as a hip hop head to see happen.
That natural, that natural swag, and it's not manufactured.
Right. It's the real deal.
Yeah.
So
that
inside,
makes me so happy to hear, man.
Yeah.
that's so what we shoot for, man.
Inside, I'm like a little kid.
And I think it's funny though too when you ride past there, like whether you're riding past or you get caught at that light, you even if you don't know what that is, because you know if you know what it is, you're looking just to see. But if you don't know what it is, it catches your eye.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like it's something about it, like it's that energy, like pulls you to it. And then the state that the city's in, I think the simplest element is the safety. You know what I mean? It's somewhere you can go and you can truly feel like I don't gotta, you know.
Yeah.
All that shit.
And that's something I take a personal pride in, because like I said, how I started off was doing security. So for me, I got to sit in the back and watch all these rappers, watch all these whoever came in there, from gangbangers to drug dealers to whoever it was. I had to sit back in the cut and chill and watch who was who and what was what. So when I later got into the element of doing shows and working with 606 and, you know, being a part of the community, because when you join with us, it's like you're becoming bigger than, it's for the community, it's for the kids, it's for the generations to learn about hip hop. It's for, you know, somebody to have a stage that might not ever get a stage. And I'll give everybody a chance. I book them. I'll listen to their music to see what we're in for, but I've never really said no to anybody. I've just told them, if you go up there and they don't like it, you might get your feelings hurt. And there's feelings hurt.
But be prepared to deal with that shit.
And that's it. And you know, but the amount of people I've met even through 606, from like, I grew up listening to Crucial Conflict, Psychodrama, Do or Die. Like, Nuisance is like a big sister to me. Cold Heart from Crucial Conflict, Call Me when I was having my kids. Like, there's things that I, as a kid, listening to music and dreaming about, it's happened. Like working at the Shrine, I've met Nas and Naughty by Nature and had talks like this with you guys, where it's like, even though I necessarily never showed that much money from it, the
Right.
bucket list, the things I got to do from the culture and what I appreciated and all the people I got to meet and music and shows I got to do, it was just, it's amazing, man. And even now talking to Shadow and I, like they were humble last week with themselves, but it's like those two need to put an album out together because they complement. I
Yeah.
think it'll be the hardest shit in the city.
Yeah.
By far, just like people say Juice is the best freestyler in the city, like I said on your show last week, I'll put my money on Anai against anybody from
Right.
Pro.
Whoa. What about Ange 13?
Bro, I'll put Anai right there. They were in a group together, lyricists. They started.
Yeah,
out
I know.
together. So them
Listen,
being around each other so long, they just fed. But don't forget, man, Anai does this every week. She practices.
Yeah, I know.
Every Tuesday live in front of a crowd.
I've had the opportunity to work with Ange 13 like a lot. And I went to shows with her. And I'm telling you, and I tell people this shit, and they don't fucking believe me. Ange 13 walks in the building, and the whole fucking shit changes.
Yeah,
she's
an MC.
I've seen motherfuckers have gift baskets waiting for her as she walks in the door.
Yeah.
This is facts.
So
She's an MC, and that's
am I lying?
Different. No, not at all. And that's what's different. Like a Shadow, and I, and Ange, they're different caliber. They're an MC. They're people who can freestyle off the top, or they might have a written in their pocket, but they know how to sell it to the crowd so well. Y'all don't know it's written, but I heard that shit from Shadow 8 million times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's certain things because I've been around so long.
You've been around him for 23 years. He might pull up some shit from, 20 years ago, and nobody ever fucking heard it. You know what I mean?
Younger rappers, I watch, like, you pick up on cadences, you pick up on styles, you know. For me, I was always a listener and a fan first. So for me, if I didn't like the way you were sounding or doing, that's what I was basing my judgment on. What kind of show am I putting together here? You know?
You also had a level that most people don't have. You had a bar that was set by Annihilation and fucking Shadow Master that is so motherfucking high. Like motherfuckers coming in there gotta have their shit together.
Yeah. Well, and that's the beautiful thing about it. Like they call it a dojo all the time. That's what it is. You walk in and you get overexcited because, like you said, you get that hip hop feel.
Been there.
You get that. I'm here. I had a couple drinks, man. Give me that mic. But then you realize a couple of these cats that come in here are just ready to sue your ass.
My nigga, I'm smiling right now because I've been there. I was watching that.
I've been there.
And listen, you already know. You're sitting there, the energy is so like, fuck that, I'm going on stage. And there might be motherfuckers grabbing me like, Heat, please, no, don't. Be cool, my nigga. Nah, fuck that. Hold my drink.
Yeah, it happens. I've been there.
Yeah. And I've been there where, it happened twice. I told him, I said, man, I got to have a redemption because I can actually rap. I'm not a rapper per se, but I can fucking rap. But I said, nah, I need some redemption. You know what I'm saying? Because
I've had that moment so many times myself where I've watched and then people would record because they're like, oh, Dory's getting up because usually I don't say shit. But I had a little too much Crown Royal and here I go. And then I would watch the video and be like, bro, take that shit down. Fuck is wrong with you? But then there was one. I got one that was recorded. It was our 15th anniversary. You can watch it on YouTube. It was with Juice, Cold Hard. Like, there were like 3-4 famous rappers in there. And I was just feeling myself. And I was like, I got to do it. That was the only one I ever did that was successful that was caught on film. Because like I can rap in my basement in front of a crowd. I can't do it.
Whoa. Let's be clear, man. I didn't say I could rap in my. I said I'm a good rapper. You know what I'm saying? I can rap. I just can't do it drunk full of energy. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I'm speaking on my own self.
You know what I'm saying? The energy, because you know how you just confess to like how the energy is. You're like, fuck, I could be. And by the way, I said this too, that Sub Tease is one of the places that I could go and I can get sloppy drunk and I wouldn't have a worry in my fucking mind. You know what I'm saying?
We worked hard for that, man. We worked real hard for that.
And that was the other thing that unleashes that unbridled ass shit to motherfuckers. It's like, yeah, fuck, the energy is so that
you feel like you're in a living room.
Yeah,
bro. That's how
man.
I always called it.
Fuck yeah, I felt like I was on top. I felt like I was gonna get on there and be Jay-Z when I was fucking BZ.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
bro,
Like my shit was fucked up. The first time I did it, you know, Shadow Master had seen me in there. We shook hands, we talked, you know, but no real like. Now I'm on stage. He's like, "Oh yeah," hands me the
He'll
mic.
sucker you in even more.
Oh yeah, come on, man. I think I might have said 3-4 words, and when I started, I was like, "Come on with the motherfucker." That motherfucker snatched the mic from me and said, "It's just yeah."
It happens, bro.
Yeah.
Back to you, Jim.
Yeah. Back to you.
But yeah, but like that
back in headquarters.
Talk about, like, I've heard, like, we've had Static Selector perform downstairs. We had Rod Digga perform downstairs. We had Chris Rivers. We had Bushwick Bill. Like, and the things these people that we grew up listening to as hip hop idols would say exactly what you just said. Like, I ain't never walked in a place like that, even in New York in my life. Static Selector said there was a cat out front in his limo bumping like Eric B. When he first walked in. He's like, I ain't never seen no shit like this, even in New York. So there's a lot of pride in that. And then, like you said, with the safety, man, it's a family thing in there. It's about the music, and nobody's bigger than the music. And gangbangers or anybody feel that way, because they would be asked to walk out nicely or not, you know.
Right. You can walk out or get drug out. It's your choice.
I think stuff like that is way more than important, because it helps to rewrite the narrative. Because, you know, when you hear Chicago and other places, the first thing you think about is all the negative, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be the violence or the bullshit politics, you know what I'm saying? It's always something, you know, less than becoming for us. And I think situations like Sub T is definitely some shit that needs to be highlighted, along with deep dish pizza and Italian beef and shit like
deep
that.
Dish pizza.
You know what the fuck I mean?
But that's the thing, especially now, like I said, I do work in a high school. I do deal with certain project kids at the school I work at, and every summer we're losing kids 14, 15 years old. And like you said, just not for us. It's a big reason we do it, but it does need to be spread more throughout the South Sides, the West Sides. We need more groups like us, whether they're doing the same thing or not, to just do it, to show that people care. And I think that's a big thing at Sub T. You would walk in and see a white, a black, a Puerto Rican, all kicking it, talking about music. How are you? Hugging. It's talking to human beings in person's a loss, you know, a losing thing. People really need it, man.
And some of these kids, they never go outside of their neighborhoods, you know, literally. And some of them, they don't even interact with people of other races unless it's at school, and that's usually a teacher of some sort.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm a white dude, and I'm usually, if you know me from my past or, you know, through the hip hop, I'm not your average, you know, Joe or Bob, you know. In that case, I'm real with these kids. I'm cultured. I've been, you know, I was the one white guy working.
You ain't got to explain yourself. Motherfuckers know who you are.
No, but to piggyback on that, like she's saying, there's kids that I meet yearly that come from the projects that never met a white dude like me. Never met a white dude.
Facts.
Other than a cop.
Right.
So, like she said, for me to be out in the community and doing and showing, not even through my job, but through music and being out on the street like that, it's changed kids. And I, you know, with all these videos everybody just put up for the 23, and some of the stories you hear about these kids saying, you know, I had nothing and I had nowhere to go and you guys were there. It's amazing. I'm 44. I'm a dad. I got children. It means a lot at this age just to hear that.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a part. Listen, let's be very clear. It's a part of your legacy. It's a part of who you are, and you have really put you. And I'm not just trying to single you out, but you and 606 Chicago has really put a footprint in Chicago. Like that is it's a real true legacy. Because what we do understand and know that hip hop as a culture, it's not going anywhere.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's up to the next generation of folks that come through and take over sub T's at some point, you know, Shadow Master's gonna be like, you know, Annihilation might
we already have things implemented with that too at Columbia College. So we're already working on part 2 of us passing the torch sooner or later.
Right. And shout out to Sarcastic because he's been in the messages. Shout out to Sarcastic.
I love that guy, bro. I love you, Miguel.
Yeah, he's amazing. I met him at Chicago Fire too.
Yeah.
I was doing shit. I was giving out the Mahoney. I don't have it on. I usually have Mahoney shit on. I was giving out Mahoney skateboards, whatever, and I had gear and shit. And that nigga was on stage and I was supposed to tell whoever with the raffle ticket they won the fucking skateboard. And this nigga grabbed the skateboard and just started going crazy on stage and shit. I sat in the cut and was like, wow, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Sarcastic is a special dude, man. He's an MC. He's an artist with all the haircuts, the drawing. He's my little bro, man. He's a good. Always been a good dude to me, man.
Yeah, and likewise, man. That's my guy, man. I fucks with him on the long way, and that just goes to show the energy and the shit that you guys pushed, you know what I'm saying? Because actual friendships and like real friendships were made out of being there.
It's crazy, and I credit that to Shadow said it the best. He said, we walk into a place with staff and people we don't know, and then all of a sudden these people we don't know became family and friends, and some of the people I've known from Sub T, I've known for 23 years.
Yeah,
it's wild, you know, and nothing more than on High and By or shows, like a very musical, conscious level of just being a human being and enjoying the same things. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, even yourself. Like I remember one of the first times I went there. Not went there, but like I had been going there. But like the first time this motherfucker recognized me. And there's a level of fucking prestige that comes with being recognized as Sub T's. And while everybody's getting charged at the door, my man shakes your hand and says, "Go ahead, man." There's a level to that shit. And I felt like, you know, I never took advantage of it. Let's be very clear. But the first time it happened, I felt like I have arrived in Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
That feels good for me now. Like I said, the age I'm at, if I ever get that, it's like, thank you.
Yeah, people outside like, damn,
who is this nigga? Yeah, nigga, I'm heat detector. Good look, Jay Norm. Walk in there, give me a double of everything, goddammit. Let's go.
Give me a double of everything.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the vibe and that's the feeling. And that is a testament to what you guys did and how you guys did it. And
it's been a privilege, man. It's been an honor, and I work with some.
With that being said, we know you know some backdoor secrets and some shit.
But I mean, you guys asked the question. If I feel it's appropriate,
okay. That's all we got to do is just ask a question.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
okay.
Want to know?
All right, I'm gonna start simple. What is the funniest drunk white girl story you got?
Oh God, it's in Wicker Park. There's way too many. Too many.
You gotta have one Karen,
bro.
Wicker Park. Super drunk white girl that's her first time in a hip hop place.
Bro, I've seen it all.
Yeah, is that Buster Rhymes over there?
Bro, it's a weird. Like fitting into so many cultures because Sub T brings everything. So
right.
1 minute you're dealing with it could be a drill show. The next minute you're dealing with headbangers that are slamming each other. Like the shit I've seen, like I've always made fun of things.
I was pretty specific, man.
I don't know, but he was going somewhere with that.
No. Let's cut the chase.
I've seen a girl shit on herself.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Bathroom.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right, your question next.
Damn.
I mean, I've been
stories.
bouncing for 22 years, so
He's got all the
You
stories.
got all the stories. Okay. Off the top of your head, it don't need to be characterized or categorized. What's the funniest shit you saw in there? Just
the funniest shit I've ever seen was
Don't-
probably one of the waitresses at the shrine getting banged in the bathroom by one of those what was that R&B group that Diddy put together?
Day 26.
Yeah, one of them cats. They were knocking on the back bathroom to get in, and old boy came out looking cross-eyed, and old boy came out like, "Oh, my bad, Joe." Like, damn, y'all dirty.
Oh my god!
That wasn't even at Sub T. That was at the shrine. A lot of crazy shit happened at the shrine too.
Yeah, I've been to the shrine.
Yeah, he was.
That's
What was that?
That'd be J Norm Part 2.
Now I know you said that you had conversations with Nas, and what was something that just really just made your fucking day?
Probably when I met Nas and Damian Marley, they came to the shrine, and Nas came in and he didn't have nothing to eat. Well, at the time, the shrine was connected to a Harold's.
Yeah,
because we knew all the guys that worked at Harold's so well, we had it like that. So Nas comes in like I'm geek because now I'm like, because you got to understand, I'm a bald-headed, blue-eyed white boy working in an all-black club. And
that's Chicago shit.
Not too many people get to say that. Like at the end of the day, you talk about being the gazelle in the lion's cage. Like I've felt that. Not too many white folks get to say that. I know how it feels to have the shoe on the other foot per se, and I don't think a lot of people get that experience. So with that being said, I meet this dude, and I'm like, man, first of all, you never know. They might not like white people at all.
Right.
I've seen it. It's happened. You get that vibe where, you know what I'm saying, you keep it more business then. So you sort of go into it with that vibe. So I'm being invited. I'm being cool. I'm not shy. So he's like, man, I'm hungry. I was like, you eat chicken? He's like, yeah. I was like, you drink beer? He's like, yeah. Went to Harold's, had him do it up for him, grabbed the cold ass Heineken, brought it back. He's like, bro, this is the best thing that ever. And we, no bullshit, sat there while he was eating Harold's and drinking a Heineken and just talked shit for about 20 minutes, man. Just down to earth, humble, good dude, man. Got pictures with him and all that. So yeah, it was just unbelievable. Or like when Tretch would remember my name coming back to the shrine, like Tretch from Naughty by Nature to me is like a top 3 MC.
Yeah.
This guy jumps out the limo. He's like, Jory. And I was even looking at motherfuckers like, hey, man, he said my name right now. You heard that? I was cheesing, man. It meant a lot to me.
Hey, that's what's up. Shout out to Ugly Boy McLeod, man. He said, fuck you, Heat. You ain't shit. Yeah, I ain't shit. Whatever, nigga. We ain't talking about me right now, okay? Anyway, we're talking to J Norm, motherfucker, 606 Chicago.
I feel like his energy is like what this show is about.
Yeah, this is what we're trying to do.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's called Unwrap.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
We unwrapping the shit. It says Joey a hero. He carried one of my exes out of Sub T's. Oh, this is sarcastic.
At the Jedi Mind Trick Show.
I remember.
See, he remember everything. That's why we got to get to them backdoor secrets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know you know some shit.
Oh, I know a lot, but like you said, like most of the stuff you would ask about is basic bar Chicago.
Right.
Bro.
Okay. Who's the nastiest rapper that ever came to your show that was just like, yo, hook me up with her? Hey, can you do this? Hey, bro, can you? And you were like, yo, calm down, creep. You ain't got to say it.
Me being security, I never allow shit like that, bro. Somebody was honestly being that type of a weirdo, and I'm trying to be a business orientated. I'm not talking to you much. There, like, because that's what people don't understand. They would see me out and about a lot, but people had to understand. To me, that was my work. That was my this is, as a promoter, as a show producer. When you put a lineup and a bill together and it's the night of it going on, you want it to go without a hitch. You want You want the host to be on point. You want the DJ to be on point. I have no time to talk about anything else.
Yeah, but you know, I play shows. Jay, come on, man. You know, after they went on, they did their shit. They're like, hey, who do I talk to? Where's my man's at?
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
That's 8 million people, bro. Like half the time people think I own Sub T because I'm a big white dude that people are giving attention to, but little do they know,
right.
I'm just a fucking bouncer and middleman. It was through networking. So yeah, like when it comes to names, bro, couldn't tell you, man.
I feel like you're dodging a bullet. Okay.
No,
okay.
Not right-handed guy.
No, I'm fucking with you. I trust and believe. I believe what you're saying.
It's because I think the position of what I was in. I was security, and if I was
it makes total sense.
I was running a show program, so I was there to make it work.
Right. So, who's the worst group you ever saw come up there?
I know the worst. God, I hate saying it because he's such a good guy. He's been coming to Sub T forever and he supports us so bad. But like, in my opinion, the worst rapper that's ever been at 606 and like rap consistently.
You don't have to say his name.
Or if you want
to. But if you want to.
I mean, I have no problem saying it to him or telling him either because I love him. But yeah, Max was rough back in the day.
Oh, I believe I know who you're talking about because I think
he used to wear the Scream mask, and great guy, best big-hearted supporter, great bro, 100%er. But like, whatever style that comes up in his head for me personally, I was always just like, damn, Max, you ain't getting no better, bro.
But everybody got to start somewhere. You know, because I believe the same guy used to come to the Six Ring show with Pat and them over in Oak Park.
Yeah.
And so I believe I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm about 90% right now that's the same fucking guy because
balls to get on stage is
that's a whole thing. Because I think one after that he started painting his face and not the mask.
Yeah.
Or some shit.
And like I said,
it was wild.
And rapped like
wild shit.
Asshole.
I only got out 3 words, so
at least you both tried.
Yeah. It's the moment. That's what Sub T does. That's what J Norm's vibe comes off as. Even though he's at the door, the guy is pleasant as fuck. He's cool as fuck. And I ain't talking about you like you ain't here. I'm telling you right now. Just an awesome motherfucker when you come there. So much so that you even believe his presence. Like, I've seen bigger niggas come in there, dap it up with him, and then feel like, okay, J Norm's here, I'm protected type shit. And I also said to Shadow Master that I would park right there, like, try to be as close as possible, but not outside of Sub T's fucked up.
Used to be more so now than it is now.
Right, it's gentrified now, but
that parking situation in that area, god damn.
Yeah, but as long as I park close enough, I thought even there's a Walmart right there. Even if I was like a block and a half away, I felt safe.
Yeah,
coming out of there sloppy as shit, I felt safe.
I think it's changed a little for me now because I'm older and I'm not in the streets like I used to be, so I'm not connected with them type of cats, and it gets seedy around there at late nights, but like back in the day when I knew everybody. So even the guys in the neighborhood, I would know the gangs. Gangs would walk me to the car to make sure I was getting home safe sometimes.
You see? That is a beautiful vibe that you guys fucking concocted, and it was organic. It was everything. I said was, and I shouldn't say that because it is everything that engulfs and fucking what hip hop is really all about. It's like it's the antithesis of hip hop. It is what it's supposed to be. It's what and how we should greet each other and how we should fucking communicate to each other. When you say things like it's a place, man, and everybody's a human. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like those are powerful words. And the power it's not just in the words, it's the power, the true power in what you guys did was the energy was that. It wasn't just words. It was that.
Yeah, and like having a stronghold on the peace aspect of it, it's a beautiful thing because there was really only like a handful of places anyway that people would want to go to. Like there was a club in like Bellwood, kind of sort of a touch of the past, and like
get the fuck out of here.
Old heads like would go there because you weren't gonna get no bullshit. But then the element kind of started creeping. That place kind of fell off, and it's a couple places out south. But it's like y'all standing the test of time. It's like that piece is impenetrable. Yeah. And there's so many other places that can't achieve that. You know what I mean?
Well, the bond of meeting all these people and
look. We got Delphine, Doughboy in the motherfucking building. Yo, that Doughboy is my guy, man. I don't give a fuck with it. Yeah. Doughboy. Shout out to Doughboy, man. Yeah. See, like you don't have to be into the inner circle of Sub-T, because like I said, when I first went there, I didn't know nobody. Nobody knew me. I was just in there geeking the fuck out. Coming from Colorado, it's another story. And the hip hop energy there was all fucked up, tree huggers and all kinds of shit I couldn't even fucking relate to because I had come there from New York. And so now I land myself because I'm supposed to go back to New York. Long story short, end up here with my sister. Boom, boom, boom. All I hear is Sub-T's. Day I show up, like I said, it was a utopia for me, like for hip hop. And the energy and everything that I got being there the first time, it's like you honestly feel like you're part of, if you're any type of creative person, rapper, singer, painter, drawer, artist, whatever, you walk in there and you're amongst your common folk.
Yeah, it's a vibe, man. It definitely is a vibe and a feel. And because it was a Tuesday, you would get awkward crowds of people. There was one time, I think it was a French tourist group, like 40 French people were staying across the way at the hotel. They came in there, started vibing with what was going on, and now all of a sudden you're talking to these people from France that ain't never seen no shit like this in their life. And that's just the thing. I've been through so many of those moments and memories, and that was weekly for us. And it's just, like I said, it's an honor and a privilege to still be a part of it, and now helping it try to go on, hopefully for another 23 years. And, I want my kids to one day, that's, I'm bugging Shadow and them right now about it, because I really think a documentary, a book.
Oh man, that's definitely into play.
Fuck yeah.
I would love to be a part of anything that has anything to, and that one, and when I say that, I'm talking about pulling resources together. I ain't talking about, what I'm saying, like I got to be on camera or anything. Like I'm talking about resources,
and that's,
a cameraman, you know what I'm saying? Like that needs to be done, man. That's a good thing you said that.
Well, the thing about that is because just hearing what you guys have said about what, I mean, this ain't my life's work per se, but it's been a huge part of what I do.
Fuck you mean?
Weekly, monthly, and
it's a legacy, bro.
To hear it, hear people like you speak, to see all those videos that were put out last week with all these people saying this wonderful stuff, and it's coming from a Puerto Rican, a black guy, a white woman, a black woman, a gay woman, like I said, I'm 43, so I'm probably in my feels a lot about things at this age of life. But it's truly amazing, and I just hope to God that it can be documented. And we are notified in the city as the longest running open mic hip hop in Chicago. We've had that
in the world. Hey, whoa, stop yourself. Can I get some breaks, please? Can I get some? Stop yourself, bro. In the world.
Yeah.
In the world, not Chicago, the fucking world.
That's just crazy.
And the crazy thing was, like, when I was talking to Anila, the only place that has ever existed that that was even close to you guys was The Good Life in LA. And I've had the opportunity to be in it both. You know what I'm saying? On multiple occasions. More so Sub-T's than than the Good Life in LA, but I was there when it was happening. And the vibe felt like the only comparison that I have, and you know, I've been doing music and hip hop. I'm 55 myself, so I've been doing this shit since I was 16.
Right.
So I understand all elements of the shit. I've been there, done that. There's not too much shit in this fucking whole culture of hip hop that I haven't done. And the only thing I can ever compare that to, Sub T's to, is the Good Life in LA, and that was a real thing too. You know what I'm saying?
I've heard of it. I've never really looked into it, but I have heard of the Good
Yeah,
Life.
you should. It was if you were in LA, if you came from anywhere and you was a rapper trying to get on, if you was trying to do whatever, there was a lady, I forget her name, that owned it. It was a health food store in the daytime, but every Wednesday they had an open mic, and her rules were original music and no cursing.
Dope.
And it was Fat Joe went there. They booed his ass the fuck out of LA.
Yeah.
It was a crazy place, but a dope place, because outside were so many. I remember being around so many rappers, especially from LA, that ended up being huge rappers that were used to be outside with their backpacks on, trying to just in ciphers, because the ciphers there'd be a cipher over here. If you was on some gangster shit, cipher for the gangster shit's over here. And this was like when Wu-Tang was fucking first out, and if you're that Wu-Tang nigga, then there's a cipher over here, and it's like outside the doors.
Yeah.
If you get in, well, then that's where you was at,
Right.
because they had a room capacity, you know, because it was a store. But the only thing in my life, and I've traveled the world, bro, and traveled the world doing hip hop everywhere I touch down at. No place compares to Sub T's, and I mean that shit for real, because I've been I mean, I ain't saying I've been everywhere,
No,
but I've been everywhere.
And
you know what I'm saying? I literally have been everywhere, and there's never been a place that had given me that feeling. The only time I felt that way was the Good Life in LA. That's it.
See, and that's another thing we have set planned. I don't know if Shadow and them touch base with you, but at some point we plan on taking the 606 crew to, say, New York, and getting together with cats that we got established out there and bringing the open mic there, just to be like, we're here, and make it a shit show. Go to LA, do the same thing.
Say less, because we did talk about it a little bit, because I know somebody in fucking Colorado that wants to do something like that. And then he had asked me, he said, well, because I told him, first of all, you need a great DJ first, and you need an MC, not a rapper, but a master of ceremony. Mm-hmm. Someone like Shadow Master who can control the crowd. Someone like Annihilate that can control the crowd, that can move the crowd like a roller coaster. Because if you don't have that, you don't have a show. You don't have shit. You don't. No. You know, when motherfuckers are on there whacking shit, you got to have somebody be like, "Yo, bro, tonight's not your night," and then. No,
it's a vibe, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And so we kind of talked about that, and he was like, well, they both were like, well, let's talk about it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely what we've been planning and really aiming our next big moves at. Yeah, with them putting an album together and being able to take that on tour with the open mic.
Man, listen.
We really want to be in LA, New York, Colorado, wherever.
If we can get it's about resources. Bro, it's about resources. And like I said, like even with the documentary, to me, being a part of it is everything. Being behind the scenes, I don't give a fuck. A little credit here and there, but whatever. I don't give a fuck. But my tentacles run fucking deep in this game. And I know people in no places, even arenas and shit in fucking Colorado can make it happen. It's I promise you, it's pretty much that simple as far as making a phone call to one or two people. And especially they go and they see 23 years, longest running open mic, hip hop open mic in the world, might I add, in the motherfucking world. So let's be clear on that.
I try to tell kids the network, because like I said, I'm not a rapper. I'm not a DJ. I bounce. And I know how to do business. And like you said, networking throughout my years have gotten me from working at Sub T to working in some of the biggest clubs in Chicago with the biggest stars. And then more so, even putting myself into a career working for the city now
Right.
with security. So it's networking's everything, being socials, everything, talking to people is everything, man. And that's what I'm
Yes,
here
it
to
is.
still push on them. You don't always got to be on the microphone to be the champ. Like you said,
Absolutely.
you could be behind it. And that's why we've worked so good together, because everybody knew their position, they played their role,
That's key.
and at any time they needed it to fill in, they filled it in with somebody that knew exactly what they were doing to keep things going. So it's been, it was amazing.
See, you keep using past tense words. And one of the things that I really hate in life, and I'm not trying to get on your case right quick, but maybe I am a little bit, is that we as a people in this culture and everything, we got to start talking definites, you know?
Yeah.
We are, we will, instead of saying maybe, or we used to be, we got to learn to check ourselves on our words, because our words speak power out into the universe. And I ain't trying to get into all deep shit, but it does change your mindset. So when I tell somebody something or ask them something, I don't have gray areas. You yes or you no about it.
Yeah.
Because I don't like being in the middle of anything. And it's like, okay, if they said yes, then shit, I need to, because is this definite?
Yeah.
Because if I tell you definitely I'm showing up, or definitely I'm doing this, or definitely I'm doing that, I'm standing on what I speak on.
Another huge part of business, man.
Yeah. And I don't knows and maybes and used to. You can't say we used to be when you're still doing.
Yeah. But there has also been a dip. There's been rougher waters as far as with this new generation. Like, even though we keep people there, I would always say on a Tuesday night, you're almost gonna hit 25 plus every Tuesday. No matter what, you're gonna get some type of group. But over the years, it has become harder because a lot of these new kids aren't being sunk into the culture.
Right.
There are places like Columbia College where they're, like you said, you go looking for it, they're out there and you'll find it.
Yeah.
But like you said, the culture has changed a whole lot. The music, in my opinion, what's on these radio stations and why, our South and West side's like a third world country is because you're playing war drum music.
Yeah.
The more war drums you play, the more war you're going to get.
Facts.
The underground isn't being put on the pedestal and the platforms that it used to be.
Facts.
It's the gangsters. It's the killers.
Facts.
And
can we get...
That's why we do what we do, because we know there's more to it out there.
Can we get some motherfucking round of applause and some motherfucking shit for what he just said? Because that shit is facts. War drums. You do war drums, you get war. The one thing about underground hip hop is always about consciousness, self-consciousness, being self-aware, being right in the moment, being all of that shit. And as Jay Norm said, being a human motherfucking being. God damn.
Yeah,
can we get
no empathy? Empathy.
Get a warrior gunshot for that shit.
And a situation like that, and just even teaching these young people, like you said, speak definites, but that positive element. Because if you fuck something up, right, instead of you being like, oh fuck, I fucked that up. If you thinking positive, if you fuck that up, you already like, okay, that didn't work out, but let me do this. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything is so emotional, so permanent. It's just, it's just.
Well, in with our world, you have to be in an atmosphere with people that care. Like,
right.
Years coming up. With that being said, Sub T is like a family in the sense of 23 years. I've met a lot of people, have grown old with a lot of people. Now a lot of people have died. A lot of people, Mike One, Epidemic, Metamo just passed away. These are cats I've known for 20 years and they became family, and color or race or religion has never been a barrier. When you lost that person and they weren't showing up no more, we felt that as a community.
Right.
We've done fundraisers and given money to families to bury people.
Facts.
And we've come together not only in the great times to celebrate 26 years of hip hop and great stuff, but we've all been there probably in the most worst times of when we've lost people. And that's why we call it Tuesday therapy, because sometimes you need to just go and say what you want to say without anybody judging you for it.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
So empathy, man, knowing how to care and love each other. And I don't think a lot of these kids nowadays know what that means. And they don't look at life as anything precious when it's the only thing we have.
Oh, they look at it when they're sitting in front of a judge crying like a motherfucking bitch when they were super gangster.
Or they're just dead.
That's a whole nother story. But that's a whole nother bag of beans, man. And of course,
it really is.
Of course, Jay Norm has got to be a homie of the show. God damn, where are we at now? So
4, 5.
No, fuck no. Because Shadow Master and Annihilation made 7.
We didn't give it to them though.
Yes, we did. Did we?
No.
God damn it, where they are.
What the fuck?
And Jay Norm is number 8. Homies of the show, and I'm gonna get some shirts made, man. God damn it, homies of the show, so we can't just say it without fucking celebrating them. You know what I'm saying? Like for real.
Like it should be something special given to him though. This is
how about this? We can do the homies of the show.
Oh shit.
The homies of the show.
Now you saying some shit right there.
Come on, man. Listen, but the other thing that I wanted to touch on talk about speaking positives and everything is also making sure you don't use backdoor words, because like I tell my kids all the time, don't use backdoor words. What's a backdoor word? Maybe. If I can, I'll try. All of that shit means if you don't feel like it, you just call and say, hey, man, you know.
It's an excuse.
And you never know what you're putting another person through. Mm-hmm. You never know where this person may be sitting at, stopped everything they were doing for that moment, figuring they were going to spend some time, either be romantically or putting together a show, writing something, doing whatever in the fuck. You can't ever say maybe.
And when you get a certain age, you know that time is just as big currency as motherfucking money is.
Everything.
Because you'll never get that time back. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's like it's a waste of energy. It's the whole shit. Like that's so fucking true. That is so fucking true.
And it happens a lot, business wise, people wise. Like there's tons of people I felt like, okay, I'm gonna give a chance to work with, and then you work with them and you see the effort that's put forth, and you realize, hey man, I don't have a problem with you, but we're not cut from the same cloth. And that's okay too, you know, but you got to let people know your work ethic, what you expect and what you want to bring to the table. Because at this age, I ain't, like you said, time is everything to me, whether it be with my family or whether I'm working on something, you know, music wise or business wise. Yeah, I want to be a straight shooter just like you want it back. And I don't think kids are learning that either nowadays either.
No. And it's, you know, it's
well, whose fault is it?
I was just motherfucking words right.
Whose fault is it?
I was just about to say that's like that shit is that situation right there. It can go in so many different directions because like a lot of parents now, they don't have the mental space and the time to actually be fucking parents, even though they have kids. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and it's
no.
And it's like you're the ones that are supposed to pass that shit on to your kids. But what if you didn't learn that shit either? You know what I'm saying? It's so much shit going on. It's like at the end of the day, who's going to be accountable for it? You know? And sometimes you don't know what you don't know because you don't know it.
You heard it. I didn't say the shit.
I'm just saying. I mean,
hey, you heard that shit, right?
That what you said though can be taken. That's perspective like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because if like you basically, you know, kids don't have respect for themselves or other people. They don't understand. But it's like if you're the person on the other end receiving the disrespect, you feel some type of way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're the other person that noticed this secondhand and was like, hey, you probably shouldn't do this shit, you know, you're trying to, you know, react out of love or whatever. And if you're the kid receiving the correction, it's like, damn, they just try to J down on me, or should I accept the game? You know?
Right.
That shit's all over the place.
Well, that's Yeah, ain't it? But there's still, in my mind, there's a responsibility for like people like myself, people like Najvino, people like the engineer, people like Delphine, Doughboy, Sarcastic, as elder statesmen in this game. It is still our responsibility too to help these motherfuckers and maybe tell them, hey, that's probably not the route you should be going. Because I worked with a lot of little drill rappers when the drill shit was first happening, and I used to say like, yo, it might be good for the moment, but you have to think about longevity, and this is not a longevity move.
But even in what you just said, you only have some of them that will accept that game. You know what I'm saying? Coming up, depending on where they came from, depending on how they're gonna receive that information. So, but
trust me, it was never received very well because it was like, you an old head. No, yeah, I've had a couple. You know what I mean? But even the resistance is formidable by itself. The resistance is once you break that kind of shell of it, because a lot of motherfuckers think that we are old, angry, old heads,
bitter as fuck.
Like nigga, we ain't got a life. Like we got a life, motherfucker. Yeah. Matter of fact, some of y'all is our kids. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, be for real.
But I think you're supposed to adapt to the climate, if you will. So I think that with them type of situations, the only weapon to really appreciate would be respecting the perspective. You know what I mean? Because what you gonna do if you don't have no uncles or no fathers or no, you know what I'm saying?
Well, first of all, we already know the internet fucked that all up for everybody.
But that's number one. Say, that phone in their pockets now, no matter who's mentoring them or telling them,
because the internet shows them shit that no matter what you say, they know there's more horrific shit. There's more fucked up shit.
Well,
there's more people that are winning.
That shock value,
being
gonna get you rich.
Fucked up.
Yep.
Well, just think about it. Back in the day, we wanted the starter coats, we wanted the Jordans, and we didn't have a phone to have it advertised. These kids are watching family and friends, and now with these kids cracking cards and making money, bro, there's kids making money that you and me don't make in a month. I see carried in their pocket at school.
Oh, no, for real.
The stuff that they admire and what they want, that wasn't in our wildest dreams even when we were their age. Because now it's in front of their face. And they think, you know what, there is a way to get it, whether it's a good way or a bad way, I'm going to get it. And like you said, without leaders or without parents being there, because a lot of these parents are working 2 jobs in single families just to pay the rent in Chicago. Nobody's home. The kid's home to fend for himself. In the streets, we know.
And that's Sod Cuddle. Shout out to Sod. Sod Cuddle just said, "Got to lead by actions. Talk is cheap." Well, also with that being said, talk is cheap, but somebody's got to be open to take the information first. It's only as cheap as the value you put on it.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Talk is cheap. If I'm talking to this lady right here and talking to Jay Norman, I say some shit. It may not mean a motherfucking thing to you guys. It may hold 0 value, but to me, it holds all value. It's the interpretation. It's how you feel about it. It's how you think, or the respect or the non-respect you have for the person saying it. But even if a person says something, and let me just chill for a second, but even if a person says something and you kind of know that person and know that it comes from a genuine place, you shouldn't be already like walls up and all that type shit. Because I know that, like, if you know somebody working with them musically or whatever, there's walls that got to be broke down before you even fucking really get to the nitty gritty, and how great they are and all that type of shit. But all of it is understanding when the person giving the information is genuine about it. Yeah, and I think that's key. And that goes back to what Sub T's was. Absolutely fucking genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody was bullshitting. That's very true.
And it was genuine in how you greeted. It was genuine in how you were treated. It was genuine when you was on stage. Even if they said fucked up shit about you after you fucked up anyway by getting on that goddamn stage. But they still showed you love, and the crowd still showed you love for having the courage and the motherfucking audacity to get up there.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying?
No, it takes a lot.
Yes. And that was not just engaged it wasn't engaged in a fucked up way. It was engaged like, my man's, but this is not where you do it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah. We appreciate it.
Shadow and them would always be able to tell them that in a way where they were being real with them, but encouraging. Practice, come back next week. And you know that feeling and that word spread so much. We used to have cats pull up in buses from Michigan, St. Louis, and cats now that I can network with any day of the week would come out of nowhere and be like, we heard about this spot, can we rock? We let them rock and just find amazing talent. Like, holy fuck. Like, my dream would have been having a booth somewhere in Sub T where every dude I met.
Oh my God.
And record, bro. I would have been rich.
Jesus Christ. Listen, that reminds me when I first went to Colorado, there was only one hip hop spot, and it was called Mad Styles. And he had clothing, t-shirts, but they were all like, they were like Jinko jeans and shit, like back in it was just foul ball shit. But he did have an open mic. Well, his first open mic and last open mic. But what he did was he made everybody sign waivers because he had mic set up and everything. He was going to record that shit and put it out on vinyl and everything. And I went to that and I went on that open mic. Not only did I refuse to sign the goddamn waiver, that motherfucker didn't like me. We cool now. You know, he's a big DJ in Colorado and shit, but we cool now. But back then, no. And he's like,
man, shout out to Han Solo, man. I used to do a podcast with him called Red Cup Radio. A lot like
Come on now, be famous, boy. You better stop playing with me, man. We still got to do that part 2, man. Yeah, shout out to Han Solo, man. Another person that is a homie of the goddamn show, man. Yeah, man. Shout out to Red Cup Entertainment. Yes,
bro. I was a part of that we did that almost 2-3 years, and we had the basement effect going on. We had cats rapping in the basement. It was dope, man. We had a really good time always.
Yeah, facts. I didn't participate, but I was watching from a distance. You know, I be watching motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I got love, you know what I mean, and shit, but I just be, you know, because I'm really not on the internet like that. I'm not really on social media like that. I used to be like, I'd be in my lab making beats, get all drunk, be like, fuck everybody, I want all the smoke.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? But, hey, whatever. But I'm in a different place right now, as we all are, you know, in life and shit, and what you guys were doing back then. Oh, shit. What this nigga say? Right? He said, facts, me and Jory created something special for the city. Yeah.
We had a good time,
facts. Man. Why'd you guys stop?
Well, COVID hit, and then at the time I had a lot, even right now, so I got a lot going on personally. So yeah, with work, and then I got a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old, and then COVID hit, and just a lot of shit at once. It's not definitely over. We've spoke about possibly doing it again, but just haven't been able to make it happen. So that's really it. It might be something that comes back up, but yeah,
hey, man.
And life.
We can wonder twin this goddamn shit. Hey, listen, man. Hey, man.
Solo could tell you if you ever have him on, he had a bigger view for like.
If I ever have him on, I just said I was going to do a part 2 with him.
Oh yeah. So then he probably already spoke on it. Like, yeah, he had a whole. Brian's another one behind the scenes. He does a lot, and he really manifests a lot. Where it's,
he's an Aries.
Yeah,
like
he even now I know he's he moved a lot. We had a lot of dope things going and did a lot of dope. It was cool, man.
That's what's happening. Well, goddamn. I don't know. Like, I feel like, I mean, I keep saying this shit, but it's just like you guys don't like because I know a lot of the core motherfuckers of Chicago that are elder statesmen now from 16 years ago. And I've seen a lot of these young motherfuckers that have cultivated themselves into things. And when I talk to like a lot of heads that I know, it's like, I get the same vibe and feeling. And you know what that is? Is that even yourself, and you can lie to me if you want to, but I want that old thing back. You know what I'm saying? Like the feeling of like, can we get this one more motherfucking run? Because I've said this to many older rappers. The way the internet and everything is nowadays, age doesn't fucking matter.
No.
What matters is the quality of whatever the fuck you're doing.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Because hip hop's one of the only cultures that really seems to age us out, which I don't understand.
Yeah, right. Rolling Stones are still relevant. Get the fuck out of here. But they call somebody like Nas irrelevant. These young cats.
Yeah, right. I think that energy comes from the motherfuckers, the powers that be. You know what I'm saying? That
and these fucking drugs these kids are doing. Holy shit.
Yeah, you got to be high out your motherfucking mind to say some shit that Nas ain't relevant. What was the name of the two or three albums that he just dropped, like King's Poison or something? Jesus
Christ. But it just shows like once again, it shows like we need more culture builders. We need people that like even you guys in the sense of talking about it. Like
right.
If us older heads don't talk about it and install it somewhere, whether they want to hear it or not, at least it was put there.
Right. And that's
we gave you a chance.
Yeah. That's even the part of like the reason why this show kind of exists, you know, and why it's called Unwrap, because we want to talk about the things that people don't want to talk about rap music. There's things that, you know, we're taking the layers off the onion, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And is it for everybody? No. Is it for those that know? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to get off subject because it's not off subject, but I just get on some international shit that our show got called fascist, Trump orientated, and some other shit by somebody that I know in Europe.
Yeah, I forgot what the other word was.
And
I think anybody who starts using politics as any segue got too much goddamn time in their life and need to get off their fucking phone.
But look,
red, blue, they're all assholes, and everything needs to change.
But here's the thing. I said that because it's just like people, you know, if you're from another culture and you're listening to us speak, you're not going to understand what the fuck Jay Norm is talking about and why we celebrating this, man. Because you've never been to Sub Keys, motherfucker. You never been to Chicago, motherfucker. You never been to the city with broad shoulders, motherfucker. The Windy City, motherfucker. You probably never been outside of your goddamn town, camp, township, motherfucking village, motherfucker, wherever the fuck you from. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because it's so hard sometimes that we try to put out good content yourself. And when I say content, Sub T's is content, whether you believe it or not. It's a thing. It's an actual living, breathing thing. I don't want to say thing. I got a better word for it. It's a living, breathing entity. It's a living, breathing entity.
I dig it.
You know what I'm saying? And we gotta, again, to go back, we gotta start putting the heavy value on what the fuck we do and what the fuck we say.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Because to everybody right now, everything we saying right now, if they're not in Chicago, they don't get it. They don't understand. But this should be human talking. It shouldn't be. You should understand the value of everything that we're saying because we're talking facts, we're speaking truths, and we're talking about something that's living and breathing and that survived the goddamn pandemic and God knows what other fucking hurdles that had to happen for it to be the longest running hip hop show in the motherfucking world. Okay, can we get a round of applause for that? Can we get some bullets and some gunshots? God damn it. Yeah. Let's put some value on these motherfucking words. All right, let me calm down. Let me calm down.
Emotional.
I mean, you got to be emotional. You got to be passionate about something you believe in.
It's cool and it's real.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Facts. I'm sorry.
And like you guys were saying, and like what I'm pressing so bad for is we're continuing to push on. We're continuing to do this, and it saved lives. It's helped communities. It's helped me. It's helped other people. It's something that, you know, hip hop's almost like my religion. You know, I believe in a higher power and all, but like you said, what you said and what she said, we've talked about color, people, love, human, this, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
The rest of this shit, man, to me at this age and me working with teenagers and watching the kids who are millionaires, and I'm watching kids who have nothing. I'm,
Right.
watching kids with good mental states to kids who don't have a mental state. So yeah, we got to stop talking, or when we do talk, get on things like this and try to push our
Right.
culture, our good word, and be good to each other, because this is a short ride.
Yes, it is. And we got it. One thing, I hate to keep saying it, man, but I'm going to. We have to put value on what we say. Just because we say it and the actions aren't there, the person that we are giving it to has to understand and know that there's power in that and there's value in what we're saying. So those that may or may not understand what Jay Norm is talking about, what Nash Vino was talking about, what Heat Detector is talking about, or the engineer, or Delphine, or Han Solo, or Sarcastic, or Gizzo, or anybody that hops on here that is giving salutations and everything, that's because they understand the power of the words that we're speaking.
Yeah, and you'll hear those names a lot, and
yeah.
That's the problem in Chicago, though. The ones that do come to bat and they're there to bat, they'll always be. But me being an outsider looking in, especially at rappers, the biggest thing that Chicago has a problem, why we're not as big as New York or Atlanta or any of that, it's all ego, man.
Yeah.
The gang, this, that. It ain't the gang shit. It's fucking egos.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I tell rappers all the time, if you guys were to drop your egos, spit on a track, whether that person you're on the track with you like or not, we would be worldwide, because we
without
got
a
lot of talent.
Yes.
Without a doubt. The Chicago, I said this in one of the shows, is that Chicago is such a wealth of talent that, when people do think of Chicago, they think of Twister, they think of Kanye, but I don't think they understand that there's way more than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Way more than that. And this city offers like artists from so many different levels, from spoken word to painting to drawing to just being creative motherfuckers. The ingenuity, the tenacity, the very fucking hardworking grind. Put your nose to the grindstone type of mentality that is here. This is what makes a lot of artists great here in the city, is because the willingness to not give up, to fall down, get back up, and do it again. Brush off, nigga, let's go. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of motherfucking pride and a lot of fucking ego that comes with that shit here in this city too. And that's one of the things that we have to really push for a better understanding, you know what I'm saying, for better shit, you know what I mean?
I think it's like, I don't know, because maybe part of that shit comes from the bad shit that happens here. So if you're from here and you experience that, when you get the opportunity to leave, it's like, fuck that shit, I ain't coming back. And all you motherfuckers that stay, y'all some stupid motherfuckers, you know what I mean? And it's like, they kind of come back with that energy, you know what I'm saying? And it's like the other people see, oh, I got on and I left, or he got on and he left, and look at him, he's successful as fuck, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
and they just
that's the thing though, but like on the underground level, there's a lot of people that are almost always about to make it just like that. And whether they've been in the circuit too long or whatever, they start disliking each other, not knowing that sometimes they complement each other better than anybody.
Come on, man.
Straight up, y'all ain't gotta like each other to do a show together.
Right.
You can come on, perform, go stand over there. You come on, perform, stand over there. But you know what you two do? Sell out the house.
Yeah.
Right. Going home with this type of money in your pocket. Do you really give a fuck what he feels about you if you got to spit what you had to spit and that's what you came to do? See, I've always been that person to talk to cats like that, because I'm not a rapper. I'm not a DJ.
Right.
I'm the guy putting on the production. I'm trying to get the 400 heads in the house. And okay, you're good, but how are you adding to this equation so that your hobby becomes a business?
Right.
What do you think that comes from? What, like just not understanding
ego. It's like being in high school. I'm hanging out with the cool kids here and they don't like me, and I've seen it a million times, especially doing security. Like I said, for years in the hip hop scene, before I came out as a promoter, even before anybody even knew I was really a part of 606, because I was way behind the scenes. I just sat back and watched everybody. Nobody knew me other than, especially when I was younger, oh, he's a bouncer and he's a cool guy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But my job was to learn that room to make sure my place was safe, no matter where I was. So I had to know who everybody was or what they were about. So when I decided to get into promotion and see what I could do with it, networking and knowing people really helped me. But then going through it, there was times where I was trying to put X on bills, and all of a sudden people, I ain't fucking with him. I'd be like, that ain't the point though.
Right.
Like, we're trying to sell out a 1,000-person venue. We all need each other right here. And just like you've seen down south and in New York, them cats collaborate and all come together, producers, rappers, to make the money and get the notice. We have like, don't get it twisted either. Like Polo G, Juice World, out of the young ones, like Juice World was, he was amazing, and he was like emo hip hop. That guy's going gold and he's passed now. So who knows what he would have been. So when people are saying, oh, not too many cats come out of Chicago, that's bullshit. Polo G, a lot of the kids that run with Polo G all go to the school I work at. So I know all them little dudes. And it's there. Or like King Von. I compare King Von to a modern day Slick Rick.
There you go. I was gonna say, yeah.
He was the first drill rapper that was actually telling stories.
You're shaking your head,
man, and letting me know where he was coming from and the lifestyle he had. And that's coming from a Caucasian 44-year-old male.
Right.
I knew exactly where he was coming from. I knew exactly what he was talking about because he laid it out like a Mobb Deep would back in the day from New York.
Yep. Facts.
So, you know, like when people say stuff like that, I find that super sad. And it's because of the drugs and the gangs, which are both directly affected in Chicago. You know, these kids are popping Percocets and taking things that my cousin, it's funny, I'm in Wisconsin right now visiting my cousin with my family. And she has medical problems. And last week, I got bad arthritis. So I was like, yo, you got an ibuprofen? She's like, oh, I'll give you a painkiller. I'm thinking I'm getting like an ibuprofen 800.
Or some shit, right?
She gave me a perk, and I was geeking to the point where I looked at her and was like, what the fuck did you, are you crazy? What did you give me? And she told me, and then the first thought that went in my head after that was like, these kids are eating 7 of these fucking things. These kids are eating 8 of these
what
things.
the fuck is going on?
And then they're drinking lean. They're drinking codeine.
And they're fully functioning. And they doing shit. I would be taking the best nap you've ever fucking seen.
Bro,
no, you probably not waking up.
They are so out of their heads that half the shit they're doing, the way I felt off of one, if you're eating 10 of them motherfuckers, you're waking up and going, where am I and what the hell happened? You know what I'm saying? Like,
where are my drawers at?
And then, you know what I'm saying? You're taking those drugs, and now you got a Chief Keef banging in your ear, or Polo G talking about fuck this, fuck that, kill them all. It's a horrible equation, man.
It definitely is.
So you rocked the Percocet, huh?
That is
bro, unwillingly I had one.
No, you said
I was asking for cups.
Jay, you say that because you got it. You know, the names have been changed to protect the innocent.
No,
it's
I love that you realize. No, I love that you realize that something wasn't right though. Like for real.
Never.
For real. Well, is that way he shook his head like? No,
I'm white. No. You know, I have a pass through college and all, but no, thank you. Not looking for that no more.
You're white.
I used to get down back in the high school. The Caucasians do it a certain type of way.
Okay. Oh yeah, wild white boy type shit.
White boy wasted, bro.
Yeah, white boy wasted. There you go.
Especially when you were coming up, my old crew used to be called the United Nations because we had every nation represented, so we used to get down.
Wow. But no perks though.
No, fuck no. Stuck to all natural stuff, man.
Right. By that you mean cannabis or something of that nature.
Mushrooms, even. No Percocets.
Shrooms, no
No
Percocets.
Percocets, bro.
Yo, my man said he don't know how the fuck they taking 10 of these bitches.
Bro, I'm 240 and 6'4". These little dudes are 15 and 100 pounds. Like,
yeah.
And they don't even realize like what it's doing to their inside.
To their body. That just brings me to something like the other day, an observation walking through Jules, right? And I never really paid attention to how little this new generation is. They are tiny ass little scrawny little dudes.
You know, I noticed I went to go get one of my kids from school, and I remember what their preschool class looked like. They were little kids, but you know what? But these new ones, they're almost so small. It's like they're toys.
It's all these drugs. It's drugs. It's the shit.
What's going on?
It's bad drugs and preservatives and food, and it's just a whole bunch of things, man.
God damn. We usually go an hour and 30 minutes, but I feel a little, you know what I'm saying? We can probably go on a little longer. I mean, it's up to Jay Norm. I mean, you got your family.
I'm good, bro. Whatever y'all want to do.
Man, well, let's keep it. God damn it. Can we just
That wasn't
a
strange outfit.
because I need some sound. I need something. Let's get back. God. Listen, man. Listen. We are unwrapping. I am Heat Detector. I am with my illustrious co-host, Najrino. We got the goddamn engineer in the background. What the fuck you doing, man? He better wake up. And we got the illustrious guest tonight, Jay Norm, just in case y'all forgot. And we usually go an hour and 30 some. But I feel like the vibe is there, and I feel like the energy is there, and I think the right things are being said, and we shouldn't shut it down at this moment because I think there's some gems still to come. I
like gems. I do.
I like gems. You know what I'm saying?
Like
I don't wear them.
Solo said from Red Cup, we'd always say that too. Nobody's bigger than the music, man. And at the end of the day, really, music is what did this all.
Facts.
That's true.
Facts.
I don't think anybody now was really focusing on that.
Yeah.
Probably a big part of that is because most of them fucking 16, 17-year-old kids taking care of their whole fucking families.
Yeah,
right.
They just want to get rich, man.
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't like a big thing to me back in the day. Big thing to me was just like getting signed to like Def Jam or something. You know what I mean? That was like,
because you didn't have a billboard of outs in front of you. You're watching a phone with all these people saying, I got this. Why aren't you doing it?
Right.
And you got real shit going on. You know?
And shit, I had a lot of shit going on in my crib. I mean, things were fucked up. I wasn't even living at home. I was doing this shit.
But you come from a different cloth, though. You know what I'm saying? You actually did have principles and you had real isms being spit at you as you were growing up.
Right.
A lot of these kids are being raised by their older sibling. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like it's all kind of weird, strange shit going on.
Or they bitter mothers.
Yep. Or they bitter moms, and like they really seriously do have situations like, if I don't get this deal and if I don't get the fuck off this block, I might not be out here in the summertime.
Right.
But if they don't get the fuck off the block, because
they get eaten up in the process.
See, because that's where it's fucked up. Because they don't even if they start to get on, they don't understand that you got to move away from that. And if motherfuckers are truly with you, because I used to say this, I'm not going to say his name, but I used to say this to this young rapper who was a drill rapper and everything. And I used to tell him, yo, you can't be out there if this is what you want to do. No. And if the niggas that are truly with you, they're going to tell you every time you step on that block, what the fuck are you doing here? Why are you not in the studio doing this shit?
That's not out here anymore.
Because when you make it, everybody make it.
Yeah.
So
they don't think like that.
You know what I'm saying? Because even if I made it, if my money didn't trickle down to the niggas, at least there's something that they can gain from it. If it's understanding, if it's shoot for the fucking stars, nigga, or give me a call and say, hey, I got a demo. You remember me? Yeah, my nigga, I remember you.
But would you agree that was, it may seem small, but that was a gigantic form of support? Because if you think about it, okay, you get on, right? There's pressure.
Right.
You don't know how to deal with that pressure. You need at least one person for you to be able to say, this is what I'm going through or whatever. Or even if you tried to come back to the hood and buy some drugs to deal with said pressure, that person was like, you know what, this ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? And they kind of talked you through it.
Yeah, but the other part of that talk is get the fuck out of here.
Yes, but I'm saying now that whole person isn't even there anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
There ain't no big uncles on the block no more, and the cats that are on the block are telling the young dudes to sell the shit for them. Like,
right, and take two more.
We're in tough times. That's why us as an adult, as a culture, we do got to step up and step out and do things to try to draw them kids in so they get a taste of a better way, you know, show that people care and have empathy, and you can love something like music and performing, and it can become a lifestyle.
And you know what they're going to say? Hey, Joe, don't nobody want to hear that soft ass shit, nigga. Yep. That's what they're going to say. Nobody want to hear. And this is where the value in our words come in. For real. The value in what you speak. Because in order for me to even show you that my words, because motherfuckers be saying, fuck words, I need action. Before we can get to the action, motherfucker, you need to understand what the fuck I'm saying.
You do.
Because if you don't understand what the fuck I'm saying, there's no way in hell I'm putting in any action.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely be time wasted, and you know that.
Yeah. So it's really the power of the words. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, the value of the words. Words have power. Words have meaning. You know what I'm saying? Just like we were speaking earlier about backdoor words and speaking truths and speaking indefinites and not speaking in backdoor shit.
And your intentions have with energy also.
But with that being said, Jay Norm is absolutely 100% right. There's no big uncles. There's no aunties on the block. There's no grannies' houses that you know, because half these motherfuckers don't respect their mothers, the grandmothers, or nothing. But even still, some of the mothers are damn near the same age as their goddamn kids.
That's true.
We got grandmothers that are in their fucking 30s. I don't get it. A 40-year-old is a great grandmother or a great grandmother. This shit is crazy, man. Come on, man.
And like I said, I think, like, people don't believe it or not, I think these phones have so much to do with worsening that, because even with relationships, even with nothing to get in somebody's DM. Back in the day, you would have to go to a bar or a club.
Come on, man. Back in the day, you had to walk up and talk to a bitch.
Now I can go back to my high school sweethearts and start talking to them if I want to. Like, it's so many levels of
straight little motherfucker.
You know, there's so many levels of like loyalty and who are these people for real. How many people do you know in your own life that have a double standard of life? They're one person out in the street to family and friends, but then on this internet shit, you hear a couple homeboy, bro, I got broads in my DM every day. Like, it's a different time we're living in, man. And loyalty and listening those are golden if you can find that from anybody on any age level now, because I think this really succumbs to everybody.
Okay, Mr. Fucking old angry head right now. That's what you sound like to me. No, but I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. You know, but again, like we can talk about it. We can talk about it all day, and we can both put value on our words. And then where do we go from there, though? What do we do from there? You know, like. You know people, I know people, we all know people. There's a lot more that can be done than that is being said. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And part of all of this, people, I get a lot of flack you know, since I started this show. Some people say it's shitty. Some people say, damn, you guys are dope. We get all across the board, but a lot of times it's like, oh, it's low quality, it's this and that. Hey, first of all, listen. Man, we just getting started with this shit. That's number one. Number two, we believe in what the fuck we're doing. We believe in the people that we support as well. You know what I'm saying? And we got to start somewhere. So why not start with, because I hear a lot of times, how come you guys are getting other people outside of Chicago? How about this? Step the fuck up then. Because right now we dealing with the city we live in, and we want to give the people that live here in this motherfucking city,
we've done a few
their goddamn props.
Well, and that's the thing. If you can't form a basis of anything, how do you go further and beyond? You know, you gotta put the foundation
like a motherfucker.
And that's the point. we have foundation, we have shit. We can keep with the rhetoric of this and that. And I'm just being an antagonist right now. We can keep with the rhetoric. We can keep saying, oh, well, Chicago doesn't know how to come together, and oh, you know, all this bullshit.
Right.
What do we do? What do we do, brother? What do we do? Who do we contact? We contact the fucking mayor? No. Do we contact the alderman? No. We contact each other. We use the influences that we already have. Put power on our fucking words. Put power in all the years of networking that you have done, that I have done, that everybody that we know that's dead serious about this shit, and make something really happen.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do. You got to stay persistent, and whether people like it or not, it's got to be to what you want it to be and what you want it to be. You know, how great is it that we can talk on a video link and listen to each other and talk? That, you know, my grandparents grew up on AM radio and listening to people talk from morning to night. So I appreciate this. I appreciate seeing you and communicating with you. You know, I'm sure I could do it in person, but this is a part of our generation, I think, too, that, like, you never know who might turn in. There might be that 17-year-old that decides to click in or hear his mom or dad listening to this, and they might be listening in the background. So, yeah, you just got to stay persistent, man.
Facts. So if after having this conversation, and let's say, oh, shout out to Shannon Blunt, you know what I'm saying? That's Skip Rock. That's my man's boy. Skip Rock is harder to get a hold of than motherfucking UFO files. Okay,
Damn.
This nigga, I'm gonna hit your line, man. I swear to God, I've been trying to get him on the show. Every time look,
Shannon, another dope dude, man.
Yeah, man. That is one of the most talented, creative, beautiful souls that I've met.
Sword.
Yes, and a black belt, got his dojo and the whole shit. The nigga's a samurai. Yeah. He's a samurai in the mind, and he's a samurai in the spirit, man. A real solid dude. But goddamn, it's harder to get him online than getting goddamn you. I have better luck getting fucking Area 51 reports. I'm tired of this shit. Scared, you better fucking holler at me, man. I got videos of you, bro. Nah, I'm just playing. Nothing bad. But there's a lot of history on my shit with Skib and me working on things with Skib, and we did some great, beautiful fucking music together. And I still got more shit that we've done that we haven't even released or anything. But that's yeah.
Good dude.
I had to say that. Don't jump in the goddamn comments, boy. Don't jump in them comments when I can't even get a goddamn pigeon with a a little note or something. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
But what do you think moving forward? Like, you know what I mean? It's great having the conversation, and it's great listening to you and hearing your perspective and the knowledge that you have and the people that you know and your understanding and all that. But if we're really, really, truly talking about something, where do you, and just in your mind, your opinion, where do we move? What is the first step to try to make this city come together and understand that we all need to work together? Like, this is the city of big shoulders. How do we because we got to make one step first. It's like building a wall or a house. You know, it's one brick at a fucking time. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what it is. It's continuing, just like with 606. There were times we were about to hang it up or be done with it because, having this thing go as long as it has in the same place, chances are nobody's ever going to touch it. I mean, to be in the same venue with the same crew for 23 years, it God bless if they can, but it's a hard thing to do. And somehow we pulled it off.
You keep talking like it's over with. Stop talking
talking. I'm answering your question. With that being said, for us, it's continue to do what we do, set up the next generation. Like we have Columbia College coming in once a month. Shadow's starting to prep the next young man or woman that he thinks is going to be ready to take the staff and control the stage and give it to the next generation, but still come in and bless it and drop the knowledge. And and not be just passing it on, but being a continuous work piece in it till the day we die, because this is what we love and this is what we do. And
You just gave me a great idea.
yeah,
We pack our bags here one night and we do a live show at the open mic.
there you go. That would be dope.
We do a live unwrap show at the open mic.
That
And
would
we'll
be
have
dope.
one seat with one mic, and motherfuckers can come up and speak their piece and say whatever. Yeah, we can do
That
that.
would be dope, bro. But that's it. So we're already in the stages of setting up the next chapter and continuing this legacy going. And like you said, just because what it's done for our community and the people we know and the praise we've got from it and everything else and the friends and family I've made from this, it's something that can't go away until, even after you bury us, somebody else is going to carry it on.
The legacy. And with that being said, is there, because we got to close this out because we're going to fuck around and be in 3 hours in a minute. I swear to you, man. Yeah.
It's been a pleasure, man. I appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything you want to say? How can they get in contact with Jay Norm? Is there anything that
J Norm 747 on Instagram, Snapchat, Jory Norman on Facebook? If you're interested in performing or doing any type of shows, I do all that. Every open mic every Tuesday.
Top Flight Security. Top Flight Security.
I do that too, and I'm not only top flight on the streets, but I work for the city of Chicago as a security officer. So it's official, Craig. But on top of that, yeah, I mean, you ever want to get a hold of any of us, stop in at Sub T 2011 West North Avenue any Tuesday. We're not going anywhere anytime soon, and we're always there, man. 606.
That's what it is, man. Engineer, anything you got to say about this shit we just pulled off tonight?
I'm just feeling the vibe, man. I appreciate you for coming to the show, brother.
Thank you. Love, man.
Najrino, what you got to say?
This was a great interview, and I mean, of course, it's the first time I'm meeting you, but I love your energy. You are a blessing. You're a blessing to the city, to the youth.
Thank you.
Please keep doing what you're doing.
I do it for a living, so it's really embedded in who I am, and that's who I am. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I'm going to say a couple of things if you guys don't mind.
Well, go ahead.
Man, shout out to Jay Norm, number one, for doing the show, man. Much gratitude and respect. Shout out to 606 Chicago. Shout out to Sub T's. Shout out to anybody that even tuned in tonight, because what we heard tonight was some real genuine shit. What we heard tonight is motherfuckers speaking on real shit. And if you don't understand it, maybe go back and listen to it again. Maybe you missed something. Maybe the shit flew over your head. Maybe you are dumbing down yourself when you should be smartening up your goddamn self. I don't even think that's a fucking word, but it's a word now.
Yeah, I'm about to say this.
You know what I'm saying? So if you understand what we're trying to talk about, what we have been talking about, we ain't trying to do shit. We are talking about it. We are trying to make and figure out what we can and cannot do, but we're not going to be talking about can't do. We're going to be talking about what we're going to do. We're going to take foots forward. We're going to take one foot in front of the other. We're going to keep this shit moving. But I'm riding with motherfucking Sub T's and 606 Chicago and J Norm and you know what I'm saying? I'm riding with them to the motherfucking wheels fall off. You know what I'm saying? So what we need to understand Chicago as a city and as a people in Chicago. This is a city of big shoulders. That's what they say. They say it's the Windy City. They say a lot of things. I swear to God, this is a city of love. This is a city that comes through for people that come here, don't know nobody, and people just it's just like a bear hug of what motherfucking love. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this culture of hip hop. Especially. That's why 606 Chicago at Sub T's is the longest running open mic hip hop show. Did I say
in the world?
In the world? Did I say in the world?
Of the world, Craig.
Can we just goddamn goddamn it, in the world, in the motherfucking world? We had the doorman. The guy who's seen everything. We have the guy who's been there, done that. The guy who heard everything. The guy who saw a girl shit on herself. The guy who fucking saw a dude in the group fucking girl in the bathroom. The guy that fucking done did it all, said it all in Chicago, goddamn. Chain on his video. We the fuck up out of here, boy. Y'all better recognize, man. I swear to God.
Thank you all.
You know what I'm saying? Love and peace, my brother.